Good morning. Look at all that snow. Well, obviously we can't work outside, so let's go down into the basement grow room. Come on. So the basement salad's been a huge success, and I want to start more. Plus, I want to try starting a few beets and some radishes. Now the self-watering system, like this one in the corner and over there, that's worked out well. I'm definitely going to leave it. But I need to clean it out because since it's under the lights, it's been turning green. It's gotten soil in there and it just needs a simple clean out. And the last thing we're going to do is to harvest some lettuce for this week's salads. Now for the beets, I'm going to use that self-watering planter that I bought. Remember, we've already harvested the lettuce out of here. Now the water in the base, it's not turned green because the light can't get through that soil. So that doesn't need cleaning. And I'm just going to put 3 beet seeds. It's just going to be simple. Now I have this little area that's perfect over here. And I'm going to use the soil blocker. And after the lettuce seeds sprout, in about 2 weeks, we'll pot them up to bigger pots and give them some space to grow more. That's what I learned growing this lettuce recently. I left them in the soil blockers for 3 weeks, and some of them got shaded by the bigger leaves. And then when I potted them up and gave them more space, they got bigger. Now this is my favorite potting mix. Pro Mix. I either like the moisture control or the organic. I like it because it comes compressed and it stores really easily. But you are going to need to break it apart and it's going to take a lot of water. It took about 1.5 gallons. It's going to vary depending on how dry your soil is. Now you're going to want the soil to hold together, but not drip. Let me show you what I mean. Now, because I have arthritis, I don't use the soil blocker in the traditional method where you press down to fill it up. I like to turn it over and to fill it from the top. That's easiest on my hands. So this is a 10 by 10 very sturdy tray made by Bootstrap Farmer. Yes, they cost more money, but they are worth it. You can hold it with one hand. You know when it's full and it's heavy? I like that I can hold it with just one hand. And I do plan to invest in 10 by 20, the larger sturdy trays by Bootstrap Farmer. What I have are still just the regular old flimsy trays. Here, let me show you this one. You know how you get them all full and they're heavy and you're busy. And you just want to hold them with one hand and they break and they fall and they spill. Now I made 20 soil blocks, 5 rows of 4. And I'm going to plant 5 varieties of lettuce, 4 each. Now 4 of these are my own saved seed. I have red oak leaf lettuce, and this is my 11th or 12th generation. I've been saving it for 11 years. Then there's butter lettuce and black seeded Simpson and some type of red leaf lettuce. I think it's a red romaine, but I'm not sure because it came in this free mix. Baker Creek will often send you free seeds with your order, and that's where this came from. So that red lettuce came from this seed mix, but I'm going to plant some of these unknown lettuce varieties too. Now put a few seeds in each hole, and later I'll just thin them out. And we'll just leave 1 seedling per soil block. Now some people leave the soil block, the hole in the middle, open, but I like to put a little bit of soil on top and pat it down and then cover it. It helps hold in the moisture. Technically, it doesn't need light right now to germinate. But I tend to leave it under light, and then when the seedlings germinate, they're going to need the light anyway. Now the temperature here in this room right now is 74 degrees. This is our furnace room. And right now the furnace is running. So in the last 24 hours, the hottest it's been in here is 78, and the coldest it's been is 68. So far, this has been a good temperature for growing the lettuce. Now this week, it's going to get down in the teens every night. And I think there's going to be one day it's barely going to get above freezing. So the furnace is going to be running a lot. And I'm curious, will this room get too warm for the lettuce? But if it does, at the other end of the basement under the kitchen, that room tends to stay cold. And I can always set up another shop light down there and move some of the lettuce. But so far, this room has done well. Now let's clean out these water tubs. This one's the worst. Now that's much better. Now remember, I set this up because we went out of town for Christmas and we were gone more than 10 days. And it worked really well. So I'm just going to leave it. And I just used this simple wicking rope. And honestly, I don't know if it's anything special, but it looks like just a simple cotton cord. Now, any supplies that I use, you can always look down in the video description. Click the arrow and all that text will drop down and there's going to be links there. And before I forget, these lights are just simple shop lights that I bought from Home Depot. And they're set up on just a timer. Now last, let's harvest 2 heads of lettuce and then we're going to plant some radishes. Yeah, that's a good size. Now check back next week, probably on one of our shorts, and see the lettuce that we harvest. Then in 2 weeks, come on back and we're going to pot up these seedlings. Plus, check on the beets and the radishes. Now the snow, it was a surprise because it only predicted 1, maybe 3 inches. But I woke up this morning and we were under a winter storm warning. And they predicted up to 6 more inches. So, wow, it was a surprise. But all the vegetables out there are well protected by some fleece. We still have a few beets, but I'm saving those to go to seed in the spring and summer. We do have a few lettuces, but they're really tiny. They're not going to grow anymore till the spring. We also have a variety of greens and some turnips. But for fresh salad right now, we're going to have to harvest here in the basement. Now soon it's going to be time to start seeds. Are you excited? What are you planning to grow? I'll be making a video about my plans too. Let's get this salad up and get it washed before it wilts. Thank you for visiting our grow room. Stay warm. See you later. Bye-bye.